Hello, fellow kids. What is up? Sorry, I'll never do that again.
I don't know which is worse. The fact that you making that made me feel old, or the fact that I got it made me feel old.
Oh, don't worry. It has a well-established pedigree in terms of internet memery.
Speaking of internet memory!
Not really us at all.
We're the Bittersweet Gamers.
Right, I'm the Opinionator.
And I'm Ch5.
And thank you very, 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 very much. Thank you very much to everyone who let us know
About the Electro Bomb. Especially Liz 25 for pinging me directly and smacking me around to make sure I didn't miss it.
Yeah, so this stellar translation of a popular visual novel series, which I don't know why the last game in the series has a crummy translation, but hey, it's probably not the translator's fault, but rather the company's fault. Now I will step off my soapbox. The way Kokichi described the Electro Bomb before was translated wrong and made it sound like it was an electromagnetic pulse of death that knocks out everything, but it actually is just a Minovsky particle grenade that interferes with communication and sensors.
So it wouldn't do anything to an Exisal other than block the remote, and I guess block the Exisal sensors.
Well, I don't know about that. What do you mean? Are you talking about this lock? No, that...
No, I meant the lock on the Exisal.
Yeah, this lock.
Oh.
But I don't understand why it would why it would disable this. I understand why hitting it with an electro hammer would disable it. But I don't think the electro bomb will actually disable it, because as everybody has told us, the electro bomb, like what it says in the truth bullet, is correct.
Correct.
So it's just sensors and electronic communications.
Right.
That's a lock. For instance, the other lock...
The lock was communicating with the door, and... No, you're right.
It would disable the alarm, because the alarm can be disabled with the remote.
Right.
But the control panel to open the darn thing could not...
The control panel is for the electric barrier. They did have to open it by hand once the barrier was down.
Well, yes, I know that. What did you think I meant?
Well, you said the control panel for the shutter.
Okay, well, yes, I mean the barrier, not the shutter.
Okay.
I mean, I guess normally I'm the one making pedantic distinctions, caveating myself into oblivion, so...
Oh, this is what it feels like.
Anyway, that would be why the person in Exisal Green that we think was Maki, because she was missing her electro hammer.
Right.
That would be why she was beating the crap out of the control panel for the barrier.
Right.
Because no electro bomb would make that go off.
Correct.
You see, now that we understand what the electro bomb does properly, we can look at what happened more properly. She definitely used one to disable the alarm before. Like, we were there.
Yeah.
That means she had to have used one to disable the alarm the first time she went in the Exisal.
I thought the Exisal would not set off the alarm, and that's part of why she took it. Because the Exisal was only supposed to go off if a person approached. And if she's in the Exisal, it shouldn't trigger the alarm. Isn't that how it worked? Am I misremembering?
Perhaps that was right. I was just saying, once you get in there, if Kokichi was in there and died, then you'd have his 2 electro bombs as well.
Correct.
So that is a possibility that she could have gotten more electro bombs. Because although we still have no idea what's going on, we do assume that both Kaito and Kokichi are dead. Although basically nobody here has that position, which is one of the reasons that we think it's right. But boy, it would be crazy if one or both of them were alive.
Well, we know one of them has to be dead. We got a body discovery announcement.
That could have been somebody else.
I mean, I guess. I wouldn't be surprised at this point how crazy this trial's been.
That's all I mean! Anyway, enough of that.
You know, actually, wasn't a dead body reused in Danganronpa?
Yeah.
Okay, no. Yeah,
the one
right.
in Chapter 5, no less.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
It turns out it was the person connected to the mastermind from Chapter 1.
Yeah.
Well, we think that Rantaro was the mastermind. I mean, look at it. That's... Oh, I can't look at the map now, but that icon, isn't that ultimate despair?
It would have to be, right?
Okay, so if Rantaro was the mastermind,
Okay.
I'm saying it could have been his body.
Yeah.
After all, Exisal Kokichi, said that the video was in no way edited at all, which means it was probably edited.
All right, so we've got all of our bases. We just finished confirming that there were 2 extra arrows provided by a third party.
And we had to go back and do it again and to get to Monokuma. I hate my life.
It's fine.
I hate my life.
We can move on now.
We can. Speaking of never moving on and bitterly clinging on to all of our grudges and hatred, that's us at our worst. At our worst, Billy is not pleased that I said that.
That was not Poggers.
He is glaring at me. So, arrows. We know Himiko brought 1 with the crossbow.
And we know, also, something that I thought of in between recording sessions, that arrow was not poisoned. That arrow couldn't have been poisoned.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Bolt. Dang it! It's a crossbow bolt. It's not an arrow.
I hate you all!
The only bolts that could have been poisoned were by, I guess, the other 2.
We don't even know if anything was poisoned.
Look, there was some poison missing. I'm just saying.
We don't know.
I know.
We do know that somebody came in an Exisal.
We can confirm that.
So there is a third party involved. We assume it's Maki. Maki's acting as the aggressor, but I just think it's too obvious. I also can't imagine it would be her. That's the blackened.
Right.
But her killing Kokichi, probably. Anyway, there we go.
A third party? So someone besides Kokichi or Himiko?
That's just a guess, though. There's no way a third party exists.
There's a lot of evidence there's a third party.
If a third party did exist, why would they bring 2 arrows?
Well, that's a stupid question.
Kaito was the only one with a crossbow. I made sure I handed it to him.
Kaito said he only needed 1 arrow. Clearly, he didn't want to fight.
Yeah, that's right.
However, we know that 3 bolts were used. They're not arrows!
So the other 2 arrows weren't for Kaito. They were for the third party to use themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
So the third party didn't hand the arrows through the window.
The third party picked up the crossbow and shot Kokichi twice, which we can tell by the 2 holes in his clothes.
Okay. So...
Like I said, we pretty much do think that Maki killed Kokichi.
But that's fine, because it seems like Kokichi killed Kaito.
Right.
So, everything's Gucci.
I mean, if it was somebody other than a horrible evil monster who is an existential danger to the survival of the human race, it maybe killing them would be very bad. But it is that person, so killing them isn't really that bad. Probably the right thing to do. However, the order of events in this is all very important. There's the Romeo and Juliet thing, too. If Kaito wasn't actually dead and she thought that Kokichi had killed Kaito, then Maki would be the Blackened.
That's true.
In which case, she might not even know that she's the Blackened, a la Chapter 5 of Danganronpa 2.
Oh, man.
Like, if Kaito just died from the virus...
Yeah.
And there wasn't a Blackened, then she became the Blackened by doing that.
That's horrible!
Uh-huh. Unless Kokichi can be blamed for the virus spreading in the first place, but if he's not the mastermind, then he can't be.
Wow, that made a lot of sense, but that was ridiculous.
Yeah, like, if Kaito died of the virus... Then is Rantaro the Blackened? Or Junko? Or Monokuma? Anyway, I guess it would just be a meteorite.
Instead, they went into the hangar and shot the crossbow themselves?
Impossible. There was an alarm system and an electric barrier around the hangar.
We all saw the beat-up control panel.
Yeah. That hangar should have been completely closed off, right?
Why is Monokuma so nervous?
Because we're blaming it on him.
Bear, it was you. It was completely closed off? Are you sure about that? It seems like you could get in there if you hijacked an Exisal. Yeah, that's right. The Exisal wouldn't set the barrier off, which is the only reason, or the alarm off, which is the only reason to do it.
Yeah.
I was just trying to extrapolate more stuff with electro bombs. Well, we know that the number is going to come up.
Right.
But we just don't know how yet. Anyway, I feel like there might be another way. Some way that we haven't figured out yet. I feel like it's Hangman's Gambit coming. I am overlooking something. Think. What method did the third party use to enter the hangar? I don't know why I'm talking like that.
R-O-B-O-T. Nope.
Exisal.
Did you forget the button to
Yes?
flash spot?
There we go.
Yep, you're right. Wow, even if you didn't have a suspicion, it's very clearly spelled out here.
La 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 la.
I see now.
That's it! The Exisal! The Exisal could be used to enter the hangar.
Come on, guys.
We couldn't get in because of the alarm system and the electric barrier. But that shouldn't have been a problem for any of the Exisals, right?
Well, not the barrier.
So if you wanted to enter the hangar, all you had to do was pilot an Exisal.
I saw an Exisal enter the hangar last night. So was this third party piloting it?
By the way, I just want to confirm something with Monokuma.
Oh, yeah? By the way, you sure you're not gonna open that cockpit up? Because I'd really like to see it.
Would the alarm still go off if there was a person inside an Exisal?
Ah, there we go. That's actually a good question.
Well, I wasn't trying to keep this secret, but since it's about the details of the hangar, I guess I can tell you guys. It makes sense that the alarm system and electric barrier wouldn't react to an Exisal.
Is there a but?
After all, the hangar is where the Exisals are supposed to be stored.
Well, yes, he's sitting on it.
Billy. You must be punished.
It'd be a hassle to disable the security every time an Exisal comes and goes, you know? So even if someone is inside an Exisal, the security system wouldn't catch them. Because it'd be a hassle to leave the Exisal every time you have to put it away.
What?
I think he means pilot the robot up to the hangar, hop out, turn off everything, hop back in, pilot it through the door.
Yeah, see, you'd have to leave the hangar, so you'd have to hop out anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like Shuichi said? A third party got in an Exisal and entered the hangar?
But can just anyone pilot an Exisal?
Apparently, I was kind of dubious since they said only the Monocubs could, but since the Exisal is bigger than we thought it was, because the way scale works, and the cockpit isn't just in its head,
Yeah.
apparently that can happen.
Well, Kokichi,
It's surprisingly easy. If you use both hands, both feet, and both nipples, you can do it.
Red.
Exisal red.
Nipples too!
You don't need to use those!
Anyway, this third party commandeered an Exisal and infiltrated the hangar. That same person must have brought the other two arrows with them.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
I told you that's impossible.
No, it really isn't. Huh?
There's no way you can get through security if you pilot an Exisal. It's not possible.
You know this from experience, do you? I mean, somebody in an Exisal beat the crap out of that panel.
That's true.
What? Not possible.
That's why I assumed that the Exisal couldn't just walk through the barrier and open the shutter. Which we don't know if the shutter opens automatically. Really, it ought to, They don't show any of the doors opening, which is really kind of a shame when it gets to the big, cool science fiction doors that look like they ought to have like some hydraulic sound effects. And anyway, it'd be really cool. But somebody beat that up, and they beat it up with an Exisal. Maki, what are you talking about? What are you thinking? What do you know, and why won't you tell us? Why are you trying to hide it? Why? I just can't believe that she'd be the blackened and just be so upset, like so succumb to despair that she just kills them all.
Yeah. I don't think that's... I guess it's hard to really say when a person gets to their breaking point, but I want to believe in her.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the reasons that we kind of pushed it was sort of an act, or less of an act, but it's a mystery that was constructed so that Shuichi could regain his confidence. Because that would fit with Maki's behavior and with Kaito. But, I mean, maybe it isn't that. Why won't you tell me? Okay.
If someone was piloting the Exisal, they could have used it to enter the hangar.
That's not possible.
Is operating the Exisal really that difficult?
No!
Do we even know how to get inside an Exisal?
Ah, here we go.
Outside the hangar, there were 4 Exisals. And they were all moving, too.
I was controlling them remotely.
Electro hammers weren't an option. Yesterday, all the hammers were still recharging.
There's no way to stop an Exisal. So getting inside one would have been impossible.
Was that right?
You're right, it's impossible.
This one is actually going to be hard. When you said "there we go," what did you mean?
All the electro hammers were recharging, but here's a discharged electro hammer. But if you go to hatch...
Well, this was found on the ground near the Exisals. Yeah, I think it might be that.
Yeah.
We might be wrong, but we've actually been pretty good about getting all these right. Let's let it go again. What else?
Go back to Hatch's electronic lock.
Okay, I will in a second. Okay, it's just via the remote control.
Okay, no.
Yeah, it isn't going to be that.
Yeah.
Because Kibo said that he did see an Exisal come. But that's not what's being disputed.
Yes.
What's being disputed is that a person could have gotten through the security system. Or, I mean, that somebody could have gotten there, so I'm pretty sure it's
used
this.
electro hammer. Yeah.
Electro hammers weren't an option.
Oh, wait, they're moving, though.
Yesterday, all the hammers were still recharging.
There's no way to stop an Exisal.
Okay, yesterday all the
So
hammers...
getting inside one would have been impossible.
You could use the electro...
You're right, it's impossible.
Getting inside one... Well, okay, because maybe it is the electro bomb. Well, I want to go ahead and try the electro hammer on that one.
Okay.
The one that looks like a hammer.
If someone was piloting the
Because
Exisal...
otherwise we'll be
could have used it to
second-guessing
enter the
ourselves
hangar.
into oblivion.
That's not
Don't you think?
possible.
Yeah, I agree.
Electro hammers weren't an option.
Okay.
Yesterday, all the hammers
were still recharging.
It was that.
That's wrong!
I don't know why I was so concerned that logic was wrong.
Wait, not all of the electro hammers were being charged. I know because I found one. There was a used electro hammer near Monokuma and the Exisals.
Yeah, that wasn't just an accident. Also, there was a person who showed up without an electro hammer.
Yep.
Oh, she had an excuse.
Is that electro hammer used by the third party? Maybe they used it to disable an Exisal.
But they could only have done that if the Exisals were not being controlled.
Yeah.
Because the others, I mean, are they just gonna sit and watch?
Right?
Yes, I think so.
So at that
When I saw them last afternoon, there were 4 Exisals.
So at that point, you would use an electro bomb, which Maki did have.
Yeah.
And she could have gotten another electro bomb.
After she snuck into the hangar and taken care of Kokichi. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, she could have gotten another electro bomb from Kokichi. And since we don't have...
we don't have any other sign of an electro bomb being used so far.
Well, we don't have a Kokichi body.
That too.
Right? Okay.
But this morning, there were only 3.
This is an indisputable point. You guys can't argue this, can you?
I noticed that too. Was the missing Exisal taken by this third party?
Maybe it's the one that had the cockpit hatch open in the hangar.
Shuichi is getting warmer. How about you say the answer right now? Who did it? Who is this third party?
Okay.
All right, yeah.
It's pretty obvious. The identity of the third party. The electro hammer gives us a clue. I saw 4 Exisals at the scene yesterday when I went to meet up with Kaito. This morning, when we were trying to get into the hangar, there were 3. The culprit must have used the electro hammer between yesterday afternoon and this morning. There's only one person among us who had no electro hammer, thus could have done it. It was Kaito!
It's you! Maki, you're the third party we're looking for, aren't you?
I really don't think that she's the blackened.
Right.
And she doesn't have to apologize to us, at least, if she killed Kokichi. Everybody else here might have a different opinion, but...
What? It's Maki?
What are you saying?
Remember what Kokichi said.
But be careful! The electro hammer runs out of battery pretty quickly. This is the 3rd time I've given this line. So if you use the electro hall against an exo hammer, it'll run out of shot with just 1 cup of juice.
What?
The electro hammer needs to be recharged for 24 hours after it runs out of battery. That hammer was used last afternoon, so it couldn't have been used this morning.
Oh, right. When we were all gathered in the dining hall this morning...
Maki, where's your electro hammer? I don't need it. I'd rather not use a weapon I'm unfamiliar with. This is much better for killing Kokichis. A knife? Well, I suppose you know best. Of course, we thought, why don't you just get the electro hammer anyway?
Right.
And if we would have brought that up, everything would have changed.
Maki was the only one without an electro hammer, wasn't she?
Knowing that, the electro hammer I found could only have belonged to Maki. And that leads me to the conclusion that Maki must be the third party.
Nobody's accusing her of being the blackened, not of murder.
She also knows how to assemble the crossbow and could have returned it to her lab later.
She didn't do that, though.
Right.
You brought a different crossbow than the one Kaito had, right?
Okay, yeah.
Maki took 2 arrows and her own crossbow from her lab.
And the poison. Because, as she's been screaming for several chapters, she wants to kill Kokichi, whom she despises.
Disabled the Exisal with an electro hammer and infiltrated the hangar. Now we just have to figure out what happened after...
I'll kill your logic.
You will not! You did that!
Why are you doing this?
If I shouldn't do it this way, then why don't you tell me why not?
Right?
What?
Why are you getting in my way?
Well, I guess we found out for sure that it's not Maki cooperating with a mystery from Kaito then.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. So, if Kaito were here, none of this would fly. He wouldn't let her get away with this.
Yeah.
I grant that Shuichi has been acting badly, even a little bit in this trial, but Maki's acting even worse. I mean, there's also the fact that she killed Kokichi, and depending on the order of events and things that we literally cannot know, Maki might be the Blackened for killing Kokichi. But
yes, exactly.
Getting in your way? Maki, what are you...
Yes, I'm the third party.
Yeah, we know!
Huh?
I admit to going into the hangar with an Exisal, and then shooting the crossbow.
Great, why'd you hide it?
I didn't kill anyone. I'm not the culprit!
I believe that! Nobody even accused you of it! Anyone, though, well, I don't know about that. Poison.
You're right. I used the electro hammer.
Whoa, this is cool.
And I used the Exisal to enter the hangar too.
Oh no!
Okay, let's try this again.
You're right. I used the electro hammer. And I used the Exisal to enter the hangar too. I also shot the crossbow there.
Okay.
However, I am not the culprit.
No one thinks you are, actually.
Because the crossbow is not the murder weapon.
Yep.
The crossbow is not the murder weapon? What do you mean?
The arrows left holes in their clothes. Think about the locations of the wounds.
Oh, that's true.
They were on his arm and back.
Ah!
An arrow to each of those spots wouldn't result in a fatal injury.
Oh, there it was.
That's why the crossbow can't be the murder weapon.
So hit poison
Therefore,
there.
I'm not the culprit.
This is nasty.
Whew, yeah.
The arrows left holes in their clothes. Think about the locations of the wounds.
Okay.
They were on his arm and back.
No!
An arrow to each of those spots wouldn't result in a fatal injury.
I'll cut through your words! It wouldn't matter where the arrow hit, if it were poisoned.
Poison?
I noticed something about the poison in my lab during the investigation. There was just a little less in the bottle than before.
The only reason he would need to look
is because of the bottle of poison that we found in the bathroom.
I mean, Maki, are you really this sloppy? We assumed that you would be much more skilled than this. Just leaving an electro hammer laying around,
right?
And then this bottle here?
If that poison had been applied to those arrows, they would have been lethal, no matter where they connected.
Maki, do you have a rebuttal?
What's the matter? Why don't you say anything?
Yeah.
Don't tell me. Are you really the culprit?
Maybe it really is the Mirror Chapter 5 of Dangan 2.
Well, what do you mean?
Where Maki does turn out to be the Blackened, but that's because she thought she was doing a revenge killing that wouldn't count.
I see.
In other words, sort of tragically is the Blackened.
Like she came into the hangar, saw Kaito dead, but he died from like his illness or something, and thought Kokichi killed him, and so then she...
Which is what I specifically said before, yes.
There's no way she is! 'Cause why would she kill Kaito?
That's why I think there'd be no reason she'd hide it.
I can't understand if you don't explain anything!
Yeah, nobody is accusing you. Everyone wants to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, they don't want you to be the Blackened. Speak up for yourself.
Maki is still fighting.
Huh? Fighting?
Do you remember that Maki said she would do anything to defeat Kokichi? Maki is trying to kill Kokichi in this class trial. She wants to kill the mastermind, a remnant of despair.
Then when Maki said she would sacrifice anything, she meant...
The sacrifice that Maki is talking about must be us? Is that really it?
That seems to be what he's trying to say.
That's it!
Whoa.
She'd really...
She plans to sacrifice all of our lives in order to kill Kokichi.
She'd really go that far?
Yeah.
I'm just not sure I believe that.
Sacrifice us?
Then, by hiding the truth, Maki was trying to get us to arrive at the wrong answer. Just to kill Kokichi and the rest of us along with him?
Oh, don't worry. I don't think we're anywhere near the right answer yet.
I hope.
Doesn't that mean that Maki's the culprit?
She knew what happened and tried to hide it from us.
I just don't think that's right. I know how much she wants to kill Kokichi, but I just can't believe that she'd kill everybody else, not unless there's something really important she hasn't been saying.
Yeah.
You know, we laid out plenty of ways that she could be the Blackened, and her killing Kokichi, well, I mean, yeah.
As an assassin, she was already sort of prepared for her own potential death. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see her valuing her life as much as she would value people important to her, you know?
Yeah. It's like, wouldn't she only snap if Kaito died? And is she still just so mad at Shuichi that she'd be like, screw it, he can die too, I hate everyone?
Yeah, I don't see that.
But that mischievous plan was ruined, all thanks to Shuichi here.
And we still don't know who this is, if anybody at all.
Right? It could just be alter ego Kaito-chi.
If Kokichi really is in there, then nothing makes sense.
That's correct. That is very correct.
If Kaito is in there...
A few more things make sense, but still very confusing.
Too bad, Maki. I already predicted this would happen.
You knew all along that Maki was the culprit. That's why you've been so calm.
We haven't even hit the midpoint.
Right? We're not even at the intermission.
This isn't over. Maybe we do have the truth now, but this isn't over. We have a choice to make. We don't have to follow where the evidence leads.
Huh?
Well, if by the evidence he means saying Maki is the Blackened, then that's true.
Yeah.
Huh? What do you mean?
But we do have to follow where the evidence leads.
Yeah.
We haven't examined all the evidence.
Does this mean you're gonna vote for someone else, even if it's not the truth?
Yeah, you'll just die.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Maki could have shot Kokichi with the poison bolts, and then Kokichi takes the antidote and hides in the Exisal. But why? How?
Well, for one, where did the antidote come from? How did Kokichi know she was going to use that specific poison?
And how did he get away without her killing him long enough for him to get inside the Exisal?
Yeah, and why was he shot twice?
And why didn't he, do something in return?
Yeah.
Well, okay, that part I guess doesn't matter. Well, he was shot twice because she wanted to shoot him.
Okay, that's fair.
Just to make sure it works. You know, if fiction teaches you anything, it should be that A, you need to confirm the body, and B, you need to double tap.
You're right. I should have known.
Else? You mean vote incorrectly on purpose?
What did you say?
Kaito told me that only I would be able to grasp what lies beyond the truth.
I don't really understand what he means.
That means finding the truth is not enough. We need to grasp the hope just beyond it.
The truth does have inherent positive value.
Yeah!
So Maki, please tell us the truth. The truth that only you know.
Okay, no, this is fine.
Now that we understand the context.
Yeah, because, again, I don't think Maki's the Blackened, probably. Not intentionally.
Right.
Nobody's accused her of it.
So Kaito said that to you. Then, does that mean you guys made up before he died?
Yeah, when I went to see him yesterday.
I see. Okay, I'll talk about it. Especially since it's my responsibility for involving everyone.
And she's acting like this. Come on!
She was mad at Shuichi for giving in a moment of weakness and giving the remote to Kokichi to disable the alarm, and for not making up with Kaito even though she came up with chances to do it.
Yeah.
She's not gonna kill everybody over that.
Shuichi, you're so persistent. Were you always like that?
Well, when you're punching me in the face like this, I kind of have to be.
You think so? Maybe Kaito's charisma is starting to rub off on me.
That guy could be pretty stubborn.
Then what really happened?
Maki, please tell us.
Please.
And so, Maki began telling the truth. A truth that would leave us all in shock.
What?
Don't just start narrating things, you're ruining the mood!
Huh.
Well, I guess this turn of events isn't exactly boring either.
Intermission.
Huh. Are we going to find out what the truth is? Are they going to cut to her being done?
Of course not!
I don't know, I'm really worried.
Well now.
And then the Monokuma and Cubs theater segment began. But with all the Monocubs destroyed, this segment was no longer possible.
Oh well, too bad.
And so the curtain quickly fell.
See you later.
Bye!
Are you... Man, the trial is really going fast without the Monocubs here to waste all of our times.
The flashback light became the motive.
Okay.
Like, it really is a very FromSoft style, the Monocubs.
Yeah.
Right, because FromSoft wants to make games that kick you in the nuts and inconvenience you on purpose, put you in terrible situations that you just won't tolerate. Like the Lake of Rot. I mean, you just look out over that and you're like, you have got to be effing kidding me. And then they advertise that as a feature of the game that's supposed to be a draw. This game, Danganronpa 3, the Monocubs are irritating, bothersome, not funny, consume way too much time, serve no purpose, and that's on purpose just to make you irritated. And I kind of think it's brilliant.
When Kokichi remembered that he was a remnant of despair, I planned to kill him. I thought that if I killed him, this game, and the battle between hope and despair, would end. I was confident in my talent as an assassin. I knew I would be able to do it.
We've tried to end this killing game before, but...
We were naive.
Huh?
Guys, you could also be being naive that killing the mastermind ends the game.
Yeah. Yeah!
That's what I thought. I knew Kokichi would take advantage of my naivete, simply because it's him.
Maki totally gets me!
That's why. I needed to settle it myself. I took the poison arrows and the crossbow, and broke into the hangar with an Exisal.
Okay, but the problem is, if you're doing this, you're gonna become the Blackened. Now, if you're willing to sacrifice your life, so be it. That's why I was saying that Kaito killed Kokichi.
Yeah.
He was gonna die anyway.
So he might as well help everyone.
But hiding it is not something that would happen unless Kaito is like, I don't have a chance to tell somebody, but I believe in Shuichi that he will solve this.
But when I entered the hangar, I saw something I never expected. Kaito and Kokichi were fighting each other.
Oh!
So one of those shots into Kokichi
came from Kaito.
And I don't remember where the other hole was.
On Kokichi? In the back.
So why on earth did Maki shoot Kaito?
Right?
Kokichi was shot in the arm with a crossbow arrow. Probably by Kaito when he fought back.
Or when he initiated it?
Yeah!
Both of them stopped and looked at the Exisal, most likely surprised by its sudden appearance.
Which is a fair reaction.
Most likely, yes. Most likely.
Kokichi immediately took out his remote and attempted to control the Exisal I was in.
Yeah, because she could have not shot you, but instead just tried to kill you with this. I mean, something about like a 2 to 4 ton robot is probably going to be pretty effective at killing someone.
I jumped out of the Exisal before he could, and shot Kokichi in the back with an arrow.
Okay.
All right.
That should have been enough to stop him, since the arrow was coated with poison.
Well, I think getting shot in the back would have been enough to stop him, but especially since the poison takes a little bit to kick in.
Yeah, you guys understand that being shot by a crossbow is really awful.
Yeah, and like sudden shock and damage to your body, it's not like in like the action movies or the anime where people can just shrug it off. Now, sometimes they can.
Yeah, sometimes that happens.
Sometimes you get a rush of adrenaline, but usually your body is like, what the F just happened? Going into shock now.
The Strike 9 poison, correct? But why pick that particular poison? Some of the poisons in my lab were far more lethal.
I wanted Kokichi to confess his true intentions before he died. And find out why he was always lying and trying to confuse us.
So, Kaito... Well, okay, the thing is the trial is over now, if this is the truth.
Yeah.
Okay, but if what I'm about to say is true, so Kaito killed Kokichi himself right there to save Maki.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Like, no, I'm not going to let you die. I'm going to die. Because he doesn't have a choice but to die.
Right.
What do you mean?
If he was the mastermind, it would have been easier for him to hide in the shadows, right? He could have made it seem as if the late Junko was secretly behind this killing game.
Yeah?
That way, he could reveal himself as the surprise mastermind to liven up the game.
I mean, isn't that what he did? Kind of? Oh, she means like, and then reveal himself later, like having not been present up till that point.
Because of his suspicious actions, anyone would already suspect him as the mastermind.
Yeah, we certainly did from chapter 1.
Especially with that message in the courtyard. Kokichi said it was a hint, but was it necessary for him to go out of his way just for a hint?
As a remnant of despair, I imagine he wanted to feel the despair of his plan being thwarted.
If that's even correct.
Yeah, okay, Junko kind of said something along those lines.
Well, Junko would acted that way.
Yeah, and
it was ridiculous.
I don't want to support that.
But I'm not even sure that Kokichi is a remnant of despair.
Oh, I don't think so either, no.
I do think it's hilarious, on a side note, that we called Kokichi the mastermind throughout the entire game until he says, I'm the mastermind.
Yeah!
And then we immediately are like, bro, you are not the mastermind.
We're such contrarians.
I think that if he wanted the thrill, he would have carried out the plan carefully. So when his carefully laid out plan goes to waste, he would be in utter despair.
If he was still some brainwashed zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because, we found out watching the anime that the ultimate despairs are just people with a copy of Junko Enoshima's mind sort of brainwashed onto them, not actually what they were said to be in Dangan 2.
They weren't convinced by her ideology, they were forced into it.
Yeah.
Because her ideology has no...
Because it's stupid.
Well. We've had plenty of games where we've knocked her around, and if we must, we'll knock her around some more later. I certainly don't mind it, but I would like to just pass on that and move on.
All right, fair enough.
Maki must have wanted to hear it directly from Kokichi himself.
Right?
But it was pointless. I was a fool for thinking I could have a serious talk with him.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Remnants of despair? What's that?
So first off, what's up with that tiny crossbow? I thought it was really big.
We've already talked about the discrepancies of scale in Danganronpa.
But also, he's not the one who saw the flashback light.
Yep, him and Kaito were not there. They didn't see it.
So the flashback light that Gonta saw wasn't the one that we saw. Kokichi is just, he either doesn't remember and he is that person, but he just doesn't remember, or he's just doing this because this is who he is. He's the ultimate supreme mastermind.
Yeah.
Or ultimate supreme leader.
I don't understand anything you're saying. But anyway, why are you starting up the killing game when it should have ended?
This is why Kokichi couldn't have been the mastermind. He may have declared the killing game over, and I guess as long as he's alive, it was.
Because he had control over the Exisals and such.
And apparently some degree of control over Monokuma. Well, physically, I guess.
The only control he had over Monokuma was what Monokuma allowed him to have. Let's be serious here.
Well, I don't know about that. Monokuma himself was like, I gotta watch out, because nobody can move the Exisals now, so I've gotta be real nice to you guys. And nobody would have been able to do it without Miu's inventions. Ironically, as long as Kokichi was alive and oppressing us, the killing game was over. So trying to get rid of him started it up again.
You already know it's all meaningless, and that I'm the mastermind. Do you love killing that much?
Shut up, you asshole! I realized it was pointless to continue the conversation, so I shot the final arrow.
Oh no, and she accidentally hit Kaito.
But then...
I see.
Huh. Now, he didn't know it was poisoned.
Right?
I'm just... How many people keep dying for Kokichi? Huh. Perhaps my own bloodthirstiness against him is a serious problem. I mean, I really like him, but he's a horrible evil bastard who I believe needs to die, but maybe I'm really being chastised here. You know what I mean?
Well, that is kind of his specialty. Being pure enough to make us reconsider our own world.
What?
Kaito protected Kokichi?
No, he protected Maki.
Maybe.
He didn't want her to suffer the effects of murdering someone. Remember, he didn't know about the poison.
Well, unless she said something. That's probably the case. But Kaito protecting someone like Kokichi, that's a very Kaito thing to do too. It could be either one of those.
Well,
he could have been protecting Maki, or he could have been protecting Kokichi.
Well, if he was protecting Kokichi, why did he shoot him to begin with the crossbow? Right?
Because he wasn't intending on killing him. That's why he only wanted one arrow.
Oh, okay. All right, I can believe that.
Why? Why would Kaito protect Kokichi?
Even Gonta actually thought of him as a friend. After everything.
Yeah, Gonta asked us to forgive him.
And Kokichi wasn't the one who killed anyone.
He didn't directly kill anyone, but he's at fault for that.
Yeah.
At that moment, my mind went blank. I knew I had to do something about the poison. I rushed to Shuichi's research lab for the antidote.
Ah, so she didn't bring it with her initially.
So you didn't have the antidote with you at the time?
I used Strike 9 poison to torture Kokichi for info, but I planned to kill him from the start.
That's so mean!
But that was my first mistake. Because of that...
You what?
I ended up killing Kaito.
With the poison. He wasn't healthy enough to make it. So it really was, I ended up killing Kaito. So in my despair, we'll all die.
That's at least believable.
When I returned with the antidote, the hangar shutter had been closed. I assumed it was Kokichi's doing, but because of that, I couldn't enter the hangar anymore. I needed to give Kaito the antidote somehow, so I went to the bathroom window. Kaito, can you hear me? Quick, drink this antidote! After calling out to him, I chucked the antidote through the bathroom window. Kaito noticed it and grabbed the antidote. But Kokichi stole it from him.
Sorry, but I can't die here. Since I'm the mastermind of this killing game.
Why am I feeling so bad for him?
Wait! There's only one antidote!
Oh, you don't have to worry about Kaito. He fulfilled his dream, right? He already went to space.
Damn it!
Stop!
Phew, I feel so much better. I guess that's a wrap. Or maybe not, because now another class trial is going to start.
I'm not going to try to argue that Kokichi's a good person, but maybe making that move that he made, maybe it really was to save everyone.
Well,
Maybe Gonta actually got through to him, and he did it in the only way that he knew how.
in the past, when Kokichi has been antagonistic, there always seems to have been a maybe, even though he was being an asshole about it, he was trying to do what was good for us. You know, like sharing the motive videos from the mono tablets and that sort of, or monopads, and that sort of thing.
I think that line of his, that a killing game isn't more interesting when you have friends, that's not
Yeah.
And then he just stopped because he was like, actually, it is. How tragic.
Last trial?
You'll be the Blackened for this case, you know. The Blackened who killed Kaito.
I killed...
We might be interpreting that wrong, though.
Shut it! Screw the class trials. Like hell am I gonna let you have your way?
Kaito! Why did you protect Kokichi? If you didn't help him, then...
I couldn't help it. Even if it's Kokichi, I can't have you kill anybody.
Yeah, it was for Maki. Even though she's an assassin who's killed plenty of people before, well, for someone like Kaito, no more.
She's already carrying enough burdens on her slender shoulders.
Yeah.
What?
Aww, Kaito wasn't protecting me. He was protecting Maki. The situation just got way worse, huh? Maki is gonna become the Blackened responsible for killing you. All because you protected me!
Don't you worry, Maki-Roll. I'm not gonna die that easily. Just leave it to me. I'll put an end to this killing game.
You're still full of energy, even like that. You really are not boring.
What?
That is the biggest compliment he could have given him, but, they're arch rivals.
I want to see what a dying Kaito can do. So, show me what you've got. I won't meddle with your plans.
Wow.
What are you...
Don't mind me. Run, Maki-Roll. Just hurry up and run. Run!
Kaito?
And live. You gotta live.
But I refuse to give up.
The only thing Kaito could have done in that situation to save Maki is either kill Kokichi
or
kill himself.
Yeah.
The way Kokichi was talking, he might have even helped Kaito if Kaito was trying to kill himself, you know?
Yeah. He said he wouldn't get in the way.
Like a profound respect for your worthy opponent.
Man, how miserable.
I tried to enter the hangar by breaking the control panel with my knife.
And we saw how effective that was.
That's some berserk knifing.
In the end, I couldn't.
So ultimately, we don't even know what happened in there. Well, Kokichi?
Oh, you think he...
So that's where the marks on the control panel came from, huh?
You think Kokichi's gonna ruin this?
Well, it depends on the end.
Yeah.
And if that's even Kokichi.
I know, it could still be Kaito!
After that, I returned to the bathroom window once more, but I didn't see anyone.
We know that Kokichi did not... He stripped his clothes off and put them down the toilet. Or somebody
Or at
did.
least his coat. Yeah.
The bathroom door was closed. I called out, but neither Kaito nor Kokichi answered.
Would Kokichi really allow himself to die, though? Is that really what he meant? Like, would he go that far? Maybe he would. Maybe he would.
I couldn't do anything anymore. All I could do was leave.
It's very hard to say what a highly talented and capable person will do when they're at a particularly heightened emotional state in a very specific sort of circumstance where their ideology is kind of at the forefront, being challenged.
Yeah, that's right.
And that applies to both of them, by the way.
Yeah, they're both stubbornly stupid, which I respect, like quite a lot. I mean, I respect Kokichi's stubbornness and like the way that he clings to his beliefs. Mm-hmm. I think his beliefs are wrong.
Right.
And I think that he's an evil monster, but I do respect that. The thing is we have no idea what happened.
I know! Even with that tidbit, we're still in the dark.
Tidbit? That was like a 3-course dinner. So if we don't know what happened and there's no evidence, so whoever the hell is in that Exisal has to say.
I guess that's who the argument armament's going to be against.
I certainly believe that Kaito would die protecting everyone.
Yeah.
But, despair! Honestly, even the despair of not having enough mercy towards Kokichi, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Really quite excellent. That's the whole point. These super complicated feelings. It's really what I'm looking for, you know?
That's when I made up my mind. As the Blackened who killed Kaito, I would kill Kokichi during this class trial, in exchange for all of your lives.
Yeah, you went nuts.
So that's what happened.
But she did get talked out of it.
That's true.
But she went nuts.
Then Kokichi, knowing what he knew, still helped Maki cover up her crime?
Was that why you smushed Kaito in the hydraulic press?
Kaito wanted Maki to be spotless. As his friend, I felt obliged to help him.
Yeah, I was going to say, knowing what we know now, that happened because Kaito said to do it.
How dare you make fun of him! You call yourself a friend? You enjoyed watching us suffer! You fucking asshole!
Ooh, Maki is so scary. Good thing I'm in this Exisal.
Also, perhaps that really is Kokichi in there, and he really is in that Exisal so Maki doesn't kill it.
That's very possible.
Pretty sure Maki would have already killed me if I was out there in the flesh. So, what are everyone's plans now? With the truth out in the open, who are you guys gonna vote for?
Ultimately, this is going to be the conclusion to the Kaito versus Kokichi ideological battle. What do you want to believe is true? Believe in who you want to believe in. That is our clue, isn't it? Do we listen to Kokichi or do we listen to Kaito? I'm not sure I can, especially right now, easily lay out off the top of my head like what that would mean precisely, but I'm pretty sure that's where it's going to go. Is do we listen to Kaito or do we listen to Kokichi? And when I say listen to Kaito, do we believe in Maki and believe in Kaito?
Yeah.
Do we believe in the Maki that believes in Kaito that believed in Shuichi? Or something like that?
I kind of want to, if I'm being frank.
Well, if that's ultimately what we have to vote on because we don't have any other information, maybe so.
Well, to be fair, if the votes are split between two people, then as long as the black end is one of the people, it counts. That's what we learned from the last chapter.
Hey! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And Kokichi, if that is him, makes 6.
So we could use Monokuma's lack of motivation in the last chapter against him.
It's brilliant!
But who are the two people?
That's the better question.
Doing that, we would have to trust in Kokichi.
I mean, not if we vote on either Kokichi or Kaito. If we assume that one of them killed the other before...
How do we know that Kokichi won't vote for either the truth or himself? Or what? Well, the problem is...
That is the problem, yeah.
We'd have to trust Kokichi to do this.
I don't know. If there ever was a time to, wouldn't this be it?
Yeah, I think so. Which would also be like a really poignant...
Yeah.
Well, okay, I'm not gonna let a new thing come up, but we can't stop here.
You can vote for me, but if you do, we'll all die together.
Unless he did it.
Or vote for Maki and live.
Which he also thinks is interesting. You know, maybe Kaito is trusting Shuichi to vote for him.
Maybe so.
Well, choose whichever you want.
Yeah.
I don't care either way.
I think this is actually true right now.
Why? Why are you so calm? Your life depends on this too.
But this is the ultimate culmination of everything that Kokichi cares about.
Yeah!
And finds interesting. There will never be a more interesting moment in the battle between him and his arch rival.
This is like, in essence, the meaning of his life.
If that's Kokichi, which it surely is, but... I mean, I guess it might somehow still not be, though I doubt that. Given what we know now, it's probably Kokichi in there. Right?
I'm not prepared to say one way or the other.
I guess Monokuma did confirm that the video wasn't edited. I guess.
Well, that just means we saw Kaito's body get smushed.
Well, that means Kaito can't be in there.
Oh, okay, that's a fair point, right?
So that would be Kokichi.
Or it's an AI-controlled Exisal and they're both dead. Don't forget that's still a possibility.
Who cares? Just choose already. Come on, who are you gonna vote for?
No, we can't vote yet.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah!
We don't have the whole truth. This case isn't over.
But this episode is. Ha 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 ha! That was really lame, I know, but we're done.
Womp womp.
We're so pathetic.